What is going on? So today we have an insanely valuable interview with a fellow agency owner named Koen. He joined my mastermind about 2.5 years ago now. When he first joined, he was at like 5 to 6K per month inconsistently with his agency, and he recently cracked 75,000 euro per month cash collected, not revenue, in his agency, which in US dollars is past that magic 7-figure a year run rate, and in Aussie dollars is like 130 something thousand dollars per month, which is absolutely insane. So it's been really cool to see his transformation. In this interview, I sat down with Koen for about an hour and I really tried to pick his brain and think about all the questions that current agency owners would want to have for someone that's achieved a transformation like that, and really pull out the decisions and the changes that he made to unlock those next stages of growth in the business. And so I usually see agency owners getting stuck from like 0 to 15K a month, 15 to 30, and then 30 to like 80 or 100K. And there's always key decisions, pivots, and changes that need to be made in terms of team structure, client acquisition strategy, new hires that you have to make, different offers and things like that that really lead to those next phases of growth. So I know you're going to get a ton out of this video. So when I'm watching interviews like this, I usually just treat them like podcasts. And so I recommend just put it on in the background while you're going for a walk, on the treadmill, making some food, eating some food. There's a ton of nuggets in this one, so enjoy. Cool, guys. So today we've got Koen. We started, I was checking back in school, and it was when we first connected and started talking, it was October 2022. So it's almost been 3 years now, which is pretty crazy. And back then we were relatively early stages of starting the agency. I think you were hovering around 6 to 8K, and now in USD you've crossed over that kind of magic 7-figure run rate mark, which is pretty crazy to think about. And I think it's kind of just a good testament as well that it doesn't happen overnight in this business model at all. But do you want to kind of just give a quick intro?
So my name is Koen, and I am now 27 years old. I started my business 5-6 years ago when I was in college, just helping driving schools and teeth whitening salons.
Yeah, cool. I didn't realize you were in those niches.
Yeah, well, I just had 1 or 2 clients. Yeah. Making $500 a month when I was in college, which was pretty good back then, I guess.
Yeah.
Then I think when I was 23, 24, I started more in the real estate niche, local real estate agents in the Netherlands and Belgium as well. That's kind of where I started, but it was still during college. So I would say I was still partying and being a college kid.
Mm-hmm.
After college, when I was 24, I started to take it more seriously. I had a few clients. I didn't need to get a 9-to-5 job because of the work that I did do in college on my business. And that's when things really started rolling. But still, 3 years ago, the business was still and I was working with some students part-time. Had a few clients. The results weren't really there. That's actually when we started working together. I don't know how I found you back then. I think through one of your videos, I guess. And I was okay, let's start working together for 3 months. And I remember that I was doing 3 things at the same time. I wanted to start this performance coaching business, which was not in line with who I am as a person. Back then I thought oh yeah, this is also another way to make money or something, but not aligned at all. I also remember that we were discussing I was moving to the US. In terms of my clients. So I wanted to help US-based realtors, and then I was doing it in the Netherlands with Dutch-based realtors and US realtors. That didn't work out at all. And I remember we having the discussion of hey, should I do US? Should I only focus on the Netherlands? And then you actually recommended me to focus only on the Netherlands, for example. And that's what I did, and I'm happy I did that. And that's kind of how I got the business rolling. Slowly got to 10K, then 20K, stuck on 20K for a long time. Then I would say last year, 2024, was mainly being stuck at we scaled to 30K,
Hmm.
and then we kind of got stuck at 30K kind of for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Uh, I think last year was the year that I learned the most, definitely, especially on how to offer the service, how to improve the service. And then we kind of got stuck there. And then I would say 5, 6 months ago, we kind of made the decision to let go of our whole sales team there and just focus only on international clients.
Hmm.
But we can get into that a little later in this
Okay.
interview.
Yeah,
So now
cool.
we're only focusing on international clients, like mainly clients that are looking for buyers or investors
Hmm.
abroad.
Yep.
So say we have clients in Bali, clients in Dubai, in Marbella, in Spain, Portugal. We still operate in the Netherlands locally as well, where we have some great clients. We just signed a client in Curaçao and Greece.
So it's just all
So
over the place. Are they selling like luxury properties? Are they selling like new developments or off the plan projects? Like what are they typically selling?
both, yeah. So
Yeah.
we mainly are working in luxury right now,
Okay.
and yeah, also off plan projects, especially in Dubai and Bali.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. I think like a natural development that I see being like the key to unlock success in the agency space that everyone kind of naturally falls into is like when you stick it out for long enough, you kind of like figure out a groove of like a more kind of hyper specific niche and client avatar within an already established niche that you end up specializing in. That's what kind of unlocks the next phase of growth. Would you say that like that's been a big part of you kind of being stuck at 20, 30K a month and getting now to where you're at now?
The biggest reason why we were stuck at 20, 30K a month is because we were charging low offers to local real estate agents that
Yeah.
just didn't have the budget, didn't have like 90% didn't have the actual motivation to actually grow, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. Um, like more of a mindset like deals are welcome, but you have to do it basically. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put in extra work. And don't get me wrong, we have amazing clients in the Netherlands locally as well, who work very hard and yeah, are really good partners for us. But a lot of them aren't. And now we've noticed, especially in luxury and international and offline projects, they just have a lot more budget
Mm-hmm.
and they're willing to invest. They're willing to put in the work. You can see that they're really involved in the process, and that generates better results.
Yeah.
Another thing is that in the Netherlands, real estate agents only get like 1%. Like 1.5 is very rare. And that just makes it extra difficult, especially since the real estate market in the Netherlands is, well, it's very hard for starters to find a home that
Mm-hmm.
they can. So the whole market is kind of stuck. Plus, real estate agent only get 1%, and still we still get great results there.
Yeah.
But for some, it's just more difficult. And if you look at off-plan projects or in the luxury market, like especially internationally, it's like 4 or 5%.
Yeah.
Yeah, the results are a lot better. We can create a lot more impact for them.
Yeah. I feel like
So
that's like a piece of advice that goes around all the time where it's like, charge more, like work with more premium clients, like they're easy
yeah,
to deal with, they're easy to get results. But I feel like it's one of the main limiting beliefs people have is like imposter syndrome or thinking they won't be able to offer that much, that they won't be able to close at that rate, or that they struggle to figure out coming up with an offer or like deliverables that they could justify charging at that price range. So can you talk a little bit about, did you like have any of those limiting beliefs? Like what did you change about the offer? And was that like, did you have to change anything about the sales process, or how did you make that transition? And like, how much did you increase the price by?
yeah. So we had imposter syndrome for a long time. We were
Yeah.
like, oh, can I get results? And then in the Netherlands, we noticed that we were getting results, but some clients left as well.
Yeah.
So we had clients leave, but we also had clients stay for 3 years. So it was just like a coin toss, basically,
Mm.
a lot of times.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was one of the reasons why we just moved to the international market. Um, but yeah, so what we were doing in the Netherlands is we would have a whole sales team. So three cold callers, well, all part time, three
Yeah.
closers, also part time, but we had a team of six,
Yeah.
and we were managing the team. We were paying a lot of commission to them. I think we got like 6 deals a month, and yes, that allowed us to keep being at like 30K a month, a little over, but we were putting so much effort and energy and probably like a little more than 25% of our revenue.
Quick ad break. Koen is not the only agency owner that we've helped scale up in a big way. Every single one of these faces here and people that have sent me video testimonials is either a 7-figure agency owner or a high multi-6-figure agency owner that is hyper profitable. Shakir here was a full-time waiter. He scaled up to over 100K per month working with roofers and home service businesses, which is crazy. Kale here scaled to over 60, 70K per month working with car dealerships and a few other random niches. James here, 30, 40K a month, hyper lean, hyper profitable, working with trade service businesses in Australia. Mo here scaled to 40, 50K plus per month working with real estate agents. Dylan here, 0 to 60K a month. Etu, 200K a month. Maurice, 300K per month. Aiden, 100K per month. Sook Baines, he scaled to over 100K per month, bought himself a McLaren, working in a dental niche. The results go on and on and on. And all of these people have the main thing in common. Obviously, I'm not taking all the credit for their success, but they've been in my mastermind and I've worked with them one-on-one. And so we've got some of the best results in the industry. So if you're looking for hands-on personalized help with scaling your business from a veteran agency owner like me, someone that's been in the trenches, that's been in the game and has already solved the problems that you need to solve to get to the next level, then click the link below because I've recently opened up a limited amount of spots to work one-on-one with me. All you need to do is just book in a call to apply. If you're not in the market right now for more intimate mentorship and you haven't already got my one-man agency book bundle, then you need to be doing that right now. I spent 6 months putting this thing together and crammed in all of my knowledge from the past 7 years of making over $3 million with my agency. You get the audiobook free, you get a 7-day scaling series for free, you get a private community for free, and you get a one-on-one implementation call with me. So go grab that right now if you haven't already. Back to the interview.
New into this sales team.
Yeah.
Such a headache, right? It was such a
6
headache.
people is a lot to manage.
Yeah, it is a lot to manage, and the margins were just very low. And we thought, okay, it'll pay off in the end. But we just, well, we paid them up front when they closed the deal, not on cash collected, and we would like get the payments monthly from our clients.
Yeah.
So sometimes we would even have a client who like wasn't involved in the process, and then after 3 months they're like, oh, I want to quit, and then like threatening with lawsuits and all those things.
Yeah.
Even though it was just about like 750 euros a month.
Yeah.
And then they like, okay, yeah, let's leave it, fine. But then still, like the margins were even lower, because we didn't continue with the whole contract. Like things like this would happen, and we would just realize like this is never going to work. It's so much energy, so much money, so much time, and we were like, yeah, let's go, let's let go of everyone. And this was like a few months ago.
Yeah.
So
and had you when you decided to let go of everyone, had you already decided and gotten clarity that you were going to change to targeting international agents, or did you just you just kind of go cold turkey and you're like, I've had enough?
It was basically around the same time, yeah.
Okay.
So I would say even a little later, we realized we were just targeting the wrong audience, which was the local agent.
And when did you get the idea that going after international agents was going to be the right direction to go in? Like, how did you even come across that, and why did you think that was going to be the right move?
Yeah, so I thought about it for a long time, but then I got that imposter syndrome, like, oh, these are these big agents who make a lot of money. But one of our closures, we actually launched some ads, and then a real estate agency, a Dutch guy and a Belgian guy together in Marbella in Spain, they responded to our ads. We closed them, and we already decided to close them on like a monthly retainer plus commission.
Yeah.
And it was a luxury real estate agency in Marbella. And then we started seeing leads coming in. And then after like 10 weeks, we actually sold 2 properties of 1.7 million.
Yeah.
well, they get like 4 or 5% from that, and we got a percentage of that as well. And yeah, that really made us realize like, okay, we can get results,
Yeah.
and there's more money to be made, but that's also better for the team because they get a percentage of that as well.
Hmm.
Everyone's motivated. We can create a lot of impact, and they were very happy. And these guys are still like amazing to work with. Like one of the best clients that we ever had. We even
Yeah.
recorded a podcast with them as well. And although first it was like, oh, maybe it's luck, maybe it's we can only get these results in the luxury market or in Spain, for example. But now we've been getting results in Dubai, getting results in Bali, getting results in Portugal, Norway, and we keep in Curacao even, and like we keep getting more confirmation that we can get results anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Uh, of all the clients that we signed internationally, not a single one has left within like 9 months.
That's incredible. Congrats.
One big, but we got rid of that client ourselves because they weren't aligned with what we do and how we operate.
Yeah.
So kind of the story behind that. Um, yeah, so we got rid of the sales team and amazing people still like they worked very hard, but the whole process just wasn't working. Too low retainers with the too big sales team. They didn't make enough because they got paid on commission. Like it's the whole process was broken.
Yeah.
So we let go of everyone, and we were like, we're gonna just focus on the luxury and international market. And me and my business partner, we're gonna set appointments ourselves.
Yeah.
That's the decision that we made, and yeah, we can continue about this a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
And how did you start booking appointments? Did you just go to paid ads immediately and then just do like just obviously appointment setting and then booking your own sales calls off the back of the paid ads?
just pick up the phone and start dialing.
Yeah.
That's literally
So did you do cold calling as well outside of paid ads?
not. We didn't even do paid ads,
You didn't do
and
paid
we
ads at all. Yeah. Wow.
tomorrow I'm gonna launch the paid ads again. Connecting with someone on LinkedIn, seeing what their phone number is, calling them up and say, "Hey, look, we get these results. I think you have an amazing company. I think we can create a lot of impact for you. Let's just schedule a call.
Yeah.
I'll show you all the results." And that's what we've been doing for the past, I would say, 3 4 months, and it works. So,
Simple.
and every time it started working for 2 3 weeks. We set about 15 appointments every single week. Um, we were thinking like, oh, let's run ads and maybe let's hire someone, and we've started this LinkedIn process with creating these, having someone create our LinkedIn posts and
Mhm.
creating content, and every time it's the same. We realize it's all noise. It's all noise. The only thing that we need to do is schedule 15 appointments a day. So just pick up the phone.
Yeah.
That's literally what we've done. And it's so simple. Um, yeah, it works. So
And
that works.
how many like dials would you do a day to get to book 15? Like booking 15 sales calls a day, that's quite a lot.
A week,
Decent
a
amount
week.
of volume. Oh, a week. Okay, yeah. That's that's a lot more manageable. So like how many outbound like cold calls would you make a day?
Sometimes I would make 3 calls and set 3 appointments.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like more difficult. But I'd say like every 5 6 people I speak to, I'll schedule a call.
Yeah.
Because it's very like we used to have this whole list, and half of them were like wrong numbers or like self-employed real estate agents who you just knew already up front that they were not gonna be able to pay it or start with it or wanted to start with us. So it's very deliberate. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'm literally looking for 20 minutes on LinkedIn for a number, and then yeah, you can think like, oh, you could have got a lot of people in that time, but it's very deliberate. It's very like, okay, hey, who do we want to work with? And the way we approach that, it's very strange. Even though you could say the same thing on the call, the whole, I would say, vibe or energy is it's so different because you deliberately looked someone up, you checked out his or her company, And you just call them up like, hey, look, I saw this, I saw this, I saw this. Um, we've gotten these results. Let's schedule a call, and if that's something you're open to, yeah, we can dive in there in more detail. And because it's so deliberate, it's more personal, and we just schedule more calls. I wouldn't say it's very efficient, but
I mean, but it's work.
yeah, it works. It's strange to talk about it because yeah, this is just what's working for us. And
Yeah.
every time we try to do something else, we get less results. However, now, literally this week, we realized like, okay, our calendar is completely booked.
Yeah.
We've been growing, so my business partner is mainly focused on the service delivery,
Hmm.
managing the team there.
Yep.
So he didn't really have any time because sometimes he's part of the meetings with the team or the clients. And I've had a lot of sales calls, and then we didn't really have enough time to do cold calling. Or as as we say it, or my coach says it, it's doing requests.
Yeah.
And a request is basically a yes or no answer to you asking a question to someone else. So a request for me to you could be like, "Hey Liam, could you send me two luxury real estate agents in Australia that might be interested in working with us and growing if
Hmm.
you're not yourself, of course." And even that, you'd be surprised how many people are willing to help you. Even I've cold called people and they say like, "Oh, it's not for me." I'm like, "Hey, do you know anyone else that might benefit from our services?" Because I've made a lot of impact on the call.
Yeah.
They already know on the call that we can get results. So it will not be a pro it will only help other people if they would refer us to them, you know. And you'll be amazed how much people are willing to help you or asking clients for referrals, etc. And just doing these requests is
Hmm.
it's changed our business. I made a video on it as well on YouTube.
Yeah. That's
um,
really, yeah. I feel like, like it's such a simple thing that, but people just don't even think to do it. It's like you get a no from one person, but they might know someone, so just just ask them. It's like so many simple little kind of nuggets like that that can just like
yeah,
completely change an outreach process.
it changed our business. Like, I'm not lying, it's crazy. And no one wants to do it, especially if you're at like 30K. You're like, I don't know, you feel a bit spoiled. Ah, I need to have this whole sales team and setters and closers and managing the setter team, managing the closer team. They will do it for us. We get booking meetings on autopilot. It's very, very difficult to then say,
Just to get back on the phone to the founder once you've already been there.
yeah, let's
Yeah.
get back on the phone as the founder. And I don't know. Still, yeah, it's the best decision we ever made. But now our calendar is completely booked. So I hired someone in the US actually.
Hmm.
So the circles back around. I don't know if you
Yeah.
say that in it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but we
And
hired an American US based setter now who's going to do the same thing. She's
yeah.
going to do requests and post some things on LinkedIn and connect with people on LinkedIn as well. So I wouldn't say it's like appointment setting, like the whole term appointment setting, it has kind of this stigma. It's like, oh, I watched a video course from this appointment setter coach, and now I'm an appointment setter,
Yeah.
or the same. Because the market is like flooded with these appointment setters, which is on the one hand great because people are starting to work more online and realizing what's possible. But I already said like to her, like, I want you to get completely rid of the thought of like I'm an appointment setter. No, I'm someone who's part of the agency, basically like an agent of lead estate,
Yeah.
the name of my
Yeah. That's a good
um,
way of putting it.
relationships and connecting with people, and that's how it works in real estate as well. So yeah, that's kind of what we did now, and I'm gonna run ads as well.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and get US based clients as well now, through someone doing the same thing as we've been doing for the past months. And now it's time to like run ads as well because our calendar is just completely full.
Yeah.
So I would say, and I made a video on this as well, is don't just create a sales team for the sake of it. If cold calling is what works for you, just keep cold calling until your calendar is completely full and you don't have the time to fill your calendar anymore. And then it's time to add leverage into your business, and not sooner. Because you want to have this sales team or you want to have meetings on autopilot and want to do nothing, you know. And that's like I said, that's how we felt.
Yeah,
Um,
100%, 100%. Yeah, I think people try and make that jump way too
yeah,
quickly because they're avoiding doing the hard work. But I think like I've been in the same situation where like, I think I did that like the first time I launched paid ads. I kind of got an appointment set on too quickly because I didn't want to do the calls anymore, and then it didn't work out because I hadn't kind of refined the system enough and really made sure that it worked. And then I had to get back in the trenches, fix it,
yeah.
and then I could rehire someone. So that's really good advice. And
Back
I
in,
was just thinking, how are you structuring your like your deals at the moment? Are you still doing like a performance model with like a commission from like
yeah.
deals acquired for clients, or are you mostly doing just like fixed retainers? How are you structuring most of your
No,
contracts?
we do fixed retainers
Yeah.
and a percentage. Yeah, yeah. And one thing that changed for us, that changed everything for us now as well, um, is paid in fulls.
Yeah.
Like it's insane how why we haven't done this sooner.
Yeah.
Uh, because it just creates so much more cash flow. Like I wasn't really good with my taxes. I was a little bit behind.
Hmm.
We didn't have a good experience with our accountants. We're working with like two younger guys as well, like my age. They're like 20. I'm 27, but they're like 26, I believe.
Yeah.
Two who are now our accountants, amazing. Like they've connected Stripe to our bookkeeping system and everything just runs smoothly and I don't even have to look at it. And they really helped us as well. And we were like behind on taxes, so we
Yeah.
needed to like not basically see it as a debt. Because of paid in fulls, we like are completely back on track right now and are able to invest more. It just creates so much cash flow. So yeah. Plus, you never have the issue of clients saying after 4 months if they haven't done the work themselves, yeah, I want to quit, and then like you have to quit earlier than the contract, but you already paid your sales team, and so yeah,
How
that
many
is.
how many months will you get people to pay? Like if they're a brand new client, are you mostly getting paid in fulls for brand new clients, or are you also like sending existing clients to paid in fulls?
No, we're not doing that yet, because we do like that we have recurring revenue as well.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a mix, I guess. But new clients, we mainly try to do paid in fulls. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
what
how many months out? Like we get 6 months, 12 month paid in fulls.
yeah, so we do six.
Yeah.
Sometimes we make an exemption and do like four
Yeah.
to like invest in the relationship and make them see that
Yeah.
we can impact for them. And that's another thing, like the results that we're getting. Like I'm in these sales meetings and I'm so confident that we getting results because we have the track record,
Yeah.
uh, more and more track records, which is also a lot easier to get clients. So that's been helping a lot. We can talk about our service later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do paid in fulls. And what we do say is we have a setup fee,
Hmm.
and if they pay in full, they don't have to pay the setup fee.
Yeah. And how much is the setup fee that they're
It's
getting
it,
waived?
it's 1,500.
Yeah. Cool.
So it's 1,500, and we charge about 1,500 to 2,000 per month
Yeah.
uh, on the base fee. And I get a lot of like in real estate, of course, you they work all on commission, So like pretty much every meeting I get, yeah, can't we do a higher commission for no base fee?
Yeah.
That's basically every meeting I get that question, and I remember like a few months ago, I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it just because we wanted those international clients, and that's proof. But that's one of the clients that we got rid of because, well, he was like actually changing our advertisements in the Business Manager, which is definitely not a great client.
Yeah.
But every time how do you say that? Every time we deviate from that, saying like, okay, let's do it for less
It never works
monthly,
out.
works out. It never works
Because
out, and
the type of people that want that are ones that are like already financially unqualified and don't want to take a risk. So they're more likely
yeah,
to be clients that aren't going to get a good result.
exactly, and they're usually the biggest talkers, like, I've done this,
Yeah.
and then they ask for discount. And like I always say the same thing now. I just immediately say, no, that's not, we
Yeah.
can't do that. And the reason for that as well is like, imagine we have 40, 50 clients, right? You ask me to work for free. You ask me to pay our team upfront, and we've been paying our team a lot better lately, which has improved the results as well. And we continue to try and see how we can pay our team better. But so imagine it cost me I'm not saying that these are our numbers, but imagine it cost me 1,000 just to make the calculation easy per month to my team and all the other costs to work for our client, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if we do this for 40 clients, Mr. Real Estate Agent, for example, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I have to pay 40K upfront for every client that I have.
Yeah.
Like, it's not possible. I cannot do this for every client. If we make one exemption, then we need to do it for everyone, right? It's
Yeah.
not fair to the others, right? And he's like, yeah, yeah. Usually they say, I understand. But
Yeah.
if they pay it, like, they only have to pay upfront for themselves. Like,
Yeah.
so that's kind of how we work. But including the performance fee just helps a lot. Like our team just goes through fire for our clients. Like we are currently in talks with a lead somewhere. I can't say where, but that wants to buy something over 30 million. We
Hmm.
generated them through Facebook or Instagram ad, which is another thing I hear a lot. Like, these people are not on Facebook and Instagram. They
Yeah.
are, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we would get a great commission from that as well, and the team as well. So like they're very hyped, and um, it will take a while. Like we haven't received a single commission because the real estate agent will receive the commission, especially when it's new projects, like in a year, for example.
Yeah.
But we know that in the next 6 to 12 months, like we'd be getting commissions like very, very consistently. But that has helped as well to improve the client results and improve the team dynamic and be able to um, pay them more.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's interesting that you say that doing like the paid in full deals has been a big part of helping you hit your revenue goals because it was honestly the exact same thing in my situation as well, and it kind of happened by accident. Like the first like 7-figure run rate months that I ever hit were off the back of hitting paid in
Mhm.
full deals. We had maybe like 50, 60K per month
Mhm.
of MRR coming in, and then we get 4 or 5, 7 to 8K paid in full deals, and then all of a sudden we've cash collected an extra 30,
Yeah.
40K a month with only signing four extra clients. And I think like depending on the niche that you're in, I think a big part of making it an agency space is having the right deal structure for the niche that you're in. Because some niches are good for pay per lead model, some niches are good for pay per appointment, some niches are good for like rev share or profit share. Some niches are good for just normal retainer. Some are good for like bigger paid in full upfront contracts. Because real estate agents, they make their money and they don't have like consistent recurring cash flow. They have like big upfront commissions. So
Yeah.
you're more likely to just, yeah, if you get them to pay up front and take care of it all, then it's a better experience from them. And they don't like having like consistent overhead or just like money
Yeah.
coming out every single month. Um, so
And
with your,
it's
yeah,
also
sorry,
like
again.
we sometimes do then like pay per 3 months, for example,
Yeah,
that helps as well.
yeah, absolutely. So at the level of scale that you're at right now, what does the team look like? How many people do you have on the back end helping with fulfillment?
We just hired 3 people. So we just hired a Google advertising specialist as well,
Yeah.
to social media managers. So we're going to upsell our clients on that as well.
Mhm.
Because we've been getting questions from clients, hey, can you just do everything? Like, can't you do Google ads? And
Yeah.
uh, can you manage our social media as well? So we hired some people. So we hired 3 more. With them included, I believe we have 14 people right now.
Yeah, solid. So it's a
It's
decent
not
size.
all, yeah, it's not all full time, of course,
Yeah.
So full time, I would say we have 3 media buyers, so 3 advertising specialists. It's me, my business partner, we used to do the advertisements as well. So that's 5, and
Yeah.
then we have one person we just promoted to project manager. So he will like take care of. He used to manage all the callers because we call the leads and schedule the appointments and the calendars of our clients.
Yeah.
He was the manager of that and used to call himself as well. Still, I believe, but yeah, he's going to be project manager to take a lot of time away from my business partner, so we can create impact in other places. And we're going to start doing consulting as well.
Mhm.
So, and then we have the whole team of like, we call them inside sales agents, like calling and WhatsApp messaging the leads for our clients.
Yeah.
We have about um, 6 people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid.
So,
Cool.
but we'll have to see. Like, we don't want to create this big team, but like eventually, if you grow, you have to, of course. But
Yeah.
it's just bigger because we call the leads as well. Some people work part time, etc.
Yeah. No, 100%. So, one question that I thought would be interesting that I had for you is like, I feel like right now, the whole kind of like agency space has evolved, and there's kind of, in the make money online world, there's always kind of different versions of business models that end up being trending. Like, there's been like becoming a growth operator, or, having an AI automation agency. And that's kind of like the main kind of hot trend right now. Do you think like the agency model is still like a good business model to get into in 2025? Do you think it's like oversaturated, or like how do you think it's changing and where it's heading?
Well, I do feel like, well, what I see mainly is in the Netherlands.
Yeah,
It's a small country, so yes, I do think that it's still a good business model because it's just like, I think people should like move a little bit away from placing everything in like these categories of like agency,
yeah,
marketing agency, appointment setter. I'm a closer, high ticket closer. It's just, I think these names are so saturated, right?
yeah,
Then if I post a job post um on IG, for example, but like, hey, I'm looking for an appointment setter or looking for someone to can join our company. The amount of messages I get from, yeah, I'm a certified appointment setter. I did stuff,
yeah,
which is fine and stuff, but I don't respond to them anymore. Like, I don't really hire people that just did a course on sales or did a course on being an appointment setter. I'd even rather hire someone who's just motivated and doesn't know sales, and has a lot of drive. Um, but yeah, in terms of the agency model, yeah, it's the names because the agency model is just a way of naming it, right?
yeah,
But when I see people that buy a course for to start an agency and then they start posting um, on LinkedIn, for example, hey, I do Facebook and Instagram advertisements for what's like a typical niche that they start out with, like chiropractors
yeah,
or no, it still works. It still works, but you have to create a company out of it.
yeah,
So what I did, I bought a course, like a very shit course actually, 5, 6 years ago when I just started out. Well, it helped me get off my ass and do something. So that was good, I would say, even though the course wasn't good.
yeah,
But it just teaches you how to create an agency, but not how to create a company.
yeah,
And that's kind of what we realized the last year, especially, is we're creating a company with a vision, with a philosophy, and that has helped us so much. Like being able to communicate to our clients what we think, how we think about how marketing and sales should be in real estate. We created this whole process or formula that we implement for all of our clients. So it's really, we think everything through. We based our decisions on what we see in the market, and we're creating this company instead of I have a marketing agency.
what does
Uh,
that difference look like in practice, treating the business like an agency versus a company? What does that mean?
well, I would say the culture within the business. Like, we keep our team to such a high standard. So one of the things that we implemented in our business is, my business is called Lead Estate.
Yeah,
So yeah, lead does mean like generating a lead,
yeah,
but for us it also means leadership.
hmm,
So me and my business partner have invested a lot in leadership in our coach, which is self leadership basically, but also leading other people. And we really have been creating that culture inside of our business as well. So my business partner is really good at coaching as well, and making others think and grow. And he's scheduling coaching meetings every single week with our team as well, so they level up in their own life and how they operate themselves. And I think implementing these types of things and culture in your organization really makes it more of a company instead of, hey, I'm an agency owner with an appointment setter and a closer and a media buyer. You
Yeah.
know, we don't really think that way, even though we name we name our people like the positions that way, but we try to think more as if in an organization.
Hmm.
That's mainly on the internal side of the business, but on the service delivery side of the business, it's really thinking like, okay, how can I position myself and differentiate myself the from the other social media marketing agencies? And that's kind of what
Yeah.
I said. We created this formula because what everyone does is like, hey, we generate you some leads and clicks to your website, which is mainly the Google advertisers, or we create nice posts on your Instagram. Um, and then they say, oh, we measure all the numbers,
Yeah.
and measuring numbers is that then is like clicks and cost per lead. But that yeah, fine, but that's not actually calculating the numbers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? This is something I literally say to potential clients and our clients as well, because lead generation or marketing is just the first step. And our philosophy is okay, if you do marketing, you have, especially in real estate, where the sales cycles are quite long, you have to take the whole sales process into account. So
Yeah.
this, the follow up, building relationships, closing the deal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's kind of what our philosophy is. And it's like, I think that's the main tip I would have for just agency owners starting out. Of course, you're an SMMA when you're scaling to 10K, but when you want to scale further, it's like create a philosophy on how you think marketing and sales should be done in X niche, basically.
Yeah.
Um, and then you're able to inspire your potential clients as well. And they're really like, okay, wow, yes, I've experienced this negative results with other people. This is how it should work. I wouldn't say throwing mud at your competitors or anything, but just exposing what is wrong in the market right now. Things like that really helped us like move away from like, oh, I'm a social media marketing agency, I guess.
Yeah. No, I think that's really, really good advice. I think, yeah, and I think that the biggest competitive advantage that any agency can have in the current landscape is like taking more ownership and responsibility of the revenue chain of your clients, and not just stopping at getting leads and appointments, and taking it a step further and making
Yeah.
sure those leads are actually turning into dollars and converted revenue for your clients. Because I think like a big problem in a lot of people in this industry is that, I mean, obviously a lot of people are just new to business, and they're new to business owners. They're just
Yeah.
not super experienced. And
Yeah.
so they have relatively kind of lazy executions of service delivery, and you're kind of treating it as like this thing that should be easy, and this thing that's like a side hustle, and like how to do the least amount of work possible. And you don't really kind of like dig into truly solving the problems of your potential clients. And I think if you stick around in this business and you're in it for anything longer than three or something years, then you're forced to solve problems at a much
Yeah.
deeper level for your clients, or else your agency's not gonna stick around. So
100%.
yeah.
I actually had some meetings where I just wanted to connect with people, and I remember someone say who had an agency. He's like, "Oh, so you actually get results?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." So yeah, it's something you need to do, you know. And I see a lot of agents. Yes, you want to make money. Yes, you want to grow your business, but it's not sustainable if you don't actually get results,
Of
right?
course.
And for a long time, we've struggled with that, especially in the local market. But like all the clients now, they're very happy. Um, but like it's a process as well. Like 3 years ago, we didn't get any results. I remember like even until a year and a half ago, we would have like inside sales in, so like appointment setters calling the leads for our clients and scheduling them in our calendars. Like even until a year and a half ago, we would only call the leads like 3 times per week, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
We had like students calling, which helped us grow in the beginning, which was great, but we had students calling part time. Not everyone took it as seriously because it's just they're focused on school and other things, and this is just like a side job, I guess. Um, and yeah, calling leads 3 times a week. That's crazy. So yeah, of course we call them every day now, as soon as possible. Really relentless on the sales process. That has improved the results as well. So just keep improving one thing at a time, and at some point you start seeing better and better and better results. And this is something that I'm truly hyped about as well. Like me and my business partner. Well, we get a commission as well now, but even for clients we don't get a commission for locally, we're just so hyped when they get results. That's you want to actually care about getting results for your clients.
Yeah. What's some of the biggest, like most impactful practical things that you improve with your service that improve client results?
Also integrating WhatsApp,
Yeah.
uh,
Like
hiring
what's
people.
that like done for you WhatsApp follow up for leads?
Yeah, yeah. So we do the WhatsApp follow up as well, especially in the luxury market. People are busy. They sometimes just want to talk to WhatsApp. Another thing would be acting more as a consultant,
Hmm.
uh, like really making impact on the clients outside of the service that we do. Because a lot of times we just wouldn't get results because the clients just were not in the right place or mindset or yeah, and I'm not saying we there were times that we didn't get results because the ads weren't running, but a lot of times that's what they need and really appreciate from us as well. So that during the consulting part as well, I would say like following up relentlessly, like every day, that has been a massive change.
Yep.
Um, and also, this is a very big tip. We hired someone who does like a media buyer advertising specialist who spends tens of thousands per month or hundreds of thousands on ad budget per month. Like we weren't really able to afford like these people because they want to start their own agency, etc.
Yep.
So we hired someone to do a coaching meeting with our media buying team, with our
Mm.
advertising specialists every month to coach them and walk through all the campaigns. That has made a massive difference as well.
Yep.
So that's a big tip that I could give. Like instead of hiring these expensive employees, um,
Pay
it's
them to
difficult.
coach your team.
Yeah, pay them to coach your team and
Yeah.
then get your team up to that level, right? That has made a lot of impact as well.
How did you find that person to coach your team?
Through our business coach.
Yeah.
So our business coach has led a marketing and mainly sales team, a sales company in the Netherlands. They did very big numbers, and yeah, that's why I started working with him as well because he used to manage a business quite similar to ours, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, that's mainly focused on online coaches and stuff. So he knew how the business would work. Um, so yeah, we found him through him.
Yeah. Fantastic. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
And after like reaching the point in the business that you've gotten it to now, how has like your vision for the business changed of in terms of like what your ideal version of the agency looks like versus how you thought it would look before?
Oh, that's crazy. Like the difference is night and day. Like maybe you notice it as well. Like the way that I speak and communicate now about my
Yeah,
business.
you're way more excited about it. That's
I'm
definitely
so
obvious.
excited. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
so excited because we get so much results and we're growing. But also the way that I speak about business. Like when I was getting coaching from you, I was like, oh, I don't know what to do.
yeah,
Do I do this? I'm not really getting results. Like very well, imposter syndrome like, but also like just unsure. And we have so much confidence in ourselves now. So that's totally different. So sorry, what was the question?
how do you like view like your vision for the agency? Like where do you want to take it? Like what does the next step of it look like?
Yeah. So the main thing is that we want to include more consulting as well.
Yeah,
And the other thing is something that is a natural question for anyone who has an agency that's doing well is like, am I going to do agency coaching?
yeah,
Right? So
awesome.
we had a very good conversation together, me and my business partner, and we were like, are we going to be like this agency guru type, or are we going to stick more to real estate?
Mm,
our decision was we're going more to real estate. So
Yep.
we're going to scale this company. Um, Focus, the goal for this year is 100K, and I think we're definitely going to hit that. Next year, the goal will definitely be 250K, for example. We want to create a big empire,
Yeah.
basically. Like we want to build something great, and we want to be able to be the biggest um, performance-based marketing slash sales agency, I'd say client acquisition agency in the real estate space internationally. So we want to be able to get results anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
That's the main goal. Aside from that, is we want to. I think next year will be the first we'll do is we want to invest in properties ourselves,
Hmm.
uh, portfolio of properties. So investing, I guess,
Yep.
and because it stays in the niche, right? And eventually, like in 3 to 5 years, I would love to build my own project somewhere.
Hmm.
Uh, so we really want to stay in the real estate niche, and also the way we operate we want to change. Like we want to grow the company without us actually having to do the calls, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Uh, so we want to create this like very thought through personal brand and like branding and content strategy
Yeah.
organically. And we want to move away from I'm in my home behind my laptop all day,
Yeah.
or we'll probably get an office as well, but um, like I want to move move even further away from I'm an SMMA owner working in my office or working in my from my bedroom or from my living room or whatever. And we want to go more into the field.
Hmm.
So visiting clients, doing podcasts with them, like going to Dubai and doing a podcast with our client there.
Yeah.
We already did one in Marbella, and my business partner did it, and it was a lot of fun. He went to lunch with the clients. Like, I want to do maybe events. I just want to be on the move and making connections that way instead of
Hmm.
just I'm behind the laptop all day. And I
Yeah.
think that will change the business. I think that's because I started my personal brand. I started filming videos, but
Yeah. I've been seeing your
I,
content. Your content looks really, really good.
yeah, but I kind of stopped as well because we're like, well, we only have to set 50 meetings a week, and that will
Yeah.
get us faster to our goals. But that's why we need to get to our goals faster, then implement a team, and then it's time for more content. And I think if I'm behind my laptop all day, there's not really a lot of interesting content to make,
Yeah.
and takes a lot of time. So when we're traveling to all these places and meeting clients and seeing how we can invest in our first project or invest in our first real estate unit, that's something that you can film and create interesting content about as well.
Yeah. 100%. That's a really good point. Yeah,
Of what?
because it can get pretty boring just sitting behind the laptop all day in a home office.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, I was just looking at the clock. We've been going for like just about an hour already now, so I think that's
Really,
probably yeah, probably a good time to wrap up. But yeah, genuinely,
that's
really,
all day. So
yeah, I know. I genuinely appreciate your time and thanks for jumping on. I think there's some really, really good nuggets, some good wisdom in there for established agency owners that are trying to scale further and people just trying to get off the
yeah,
ground and introduce to the business model. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing the growth and success of the agency. It's really, really cool to watch.
yeah. Thanks,
Awesome,
man.
man. Perfect.